I decided to analyze the rhetorical purpose of the monologue, The Thumbprint of Mukhtar May. The overall purpose of The Thumbprint of Mukhtar May is to share Mukhtar's story and her experience with sexual violence in Pakistan while educating the audience why education is important for rural girls in Pakistan. The Thumbprint was an opera performed in LA in which Mukhtar was interviewed and her story was tailored to the 89.3 KPCC audience. Mukhtar begins her story by not only explaining what her life was before the incident but also after. She goes into how her level of education was growing up and that she lacked any available opportunity for education. Her village had no school for girls, and she grew up in a household in which her parents had no literacy skills. They didn't know how to read or write, and because she grew up in a household with her parents, she only grew up learning how to perform housework activities, such as getting water from the pump in her village or hang drying clothes on palm trees. Growing up without a place for education, Mukhtar wasn't aware of how a lack of education impacts her life because this is what was normal for her, doing the housework activities and no ambition for education. It was also normal that women in her village were meant to stay silent if a girl experienced any situation with sexual violence. However, after her experience with the men from the Mastoi tribe, she learned to gain courage and create a voice for not only herself, but for all girls in Punjab. In The Thumbprint, there are many examples of how Mukhtar expresses why education is important for girls, especially in Punjab, and how it helps their cases of defending themselves from sexual violence in their villages. Mukhtar talks about how she went into the police station once and she couldn't defend herself against the Mastoi men because they already submitted a report that say otherwise to her rape allegations. And in that situation, because she didn't know how to read or write her name, she realized how important education is for girls and having that knowledge to read and write, because as something as simple as not being able to read a paper really hurt her case and wanting to create a difference for girls in similar situations. In sharing these aspects of her story in The Thumbprint, she wants to show the audience how a lack of education has had a negative impact on her upsetting experience. But by also emphasizing on her realization for the need of education and how she has come this far to fight for wanting education for women and girls, it's an inspiration to the audience in hearing how much she has fought to create a major difference to the lives of girls and women in rural areas of Pakistan. Not only that, her story shared in The Thumbprint has shown the audience the difficulty it once was for women to say no in Pakistan, and now she has taught girls and women all over Punjab to gain respect for themselves while also building courage to speak out for themselves, especially when facing the disgusting normality of sexual violence in rural areas of Pakistan. The effect of Mukhtar telling her story in The Thumbprint has shed light on how Mukhtar is an inspiring leader for women all around the world who realize they should create a loud voice from themselves and be able to say no. Thanks.